come into this program. Some who have had years and years of experience. Some of the folks in our Masters of Public Policy program, in fact, have experience beyond many of us as faculty. And I can tell you this is one of the things that makes UEP so UEP, is that we have students with a real connectedness to communities, to different kinds of work and practical experience. And this is really, really necessary when we start to think that maybe, somehow, maybe we know everything we need to know, and that we're producing that knowledge from the ivory tower. These are the folks in our midst that just help us keep connected to what's happening on the ground in real life. Someone who I know has done that in spades while he's been here and will continue to do so is our next speaker, Julio Cesar Roman. Julio is someone who, I was curious who screens who gets to speak to me today. But I saw Julio's name on there. But we are very, very happy that you're going to be, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. But no, Julio had worked for many, many years as Director of Youth Programs at the community organization Inquilinos Boricuas en Acción, and is now currently serving as the Senior Program Director at Centro Latino in Chelsea, Massachusetts. And so it was a great pleasure and an honor to introduce you, Julio, as our next speaker and to offer your pledges.
See, there's a problem being the last speaker because I think most of it has been said, so the pressure's on. Thank you, Professor Penn, for those warm introduction and those reflection about the work that I have done in my community. How many of us actually speak Spanish in this audience? Hands? Some of us? All right. Buenas tardes, good evening, or good afternoon, I should say. I'm honored to be here at this exciting celebration surrounded by so many beautiful faces. Do we agree? Yes. Okay. And when I say surrounded, I mean it. I am, right? Look at this room, and I feel like I'm in the set of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire TV game show. You guys remember that game show? Okay, well, this is my game show now. The only thing that we're missing now is who? Regis, right? So, today we have family, friends, faculty, and staff. They're all here celebrating the same thing. You know what that is? My graduation. Just kidding, our graduation. My name is Julio Cesar Roman. I am a member of the Master of Public Policy. I'm also one of the Neighborhood Fellows of the class of 2012. As I thought about what I would talk about this afternoon, I started to think about the people that have influence and encouraged me. I asked myself, who are these people? What special qualities do they possess? What was it about that inspired me? Some of these people on my list were celebrities. Steve Jobs, Oprah, Madonna, J-Lo, Whitney Houston, Ricky Martin, Chicky Bam Bam, you guys remember that? And the dub from the Aflac commercials. But most of the people on my list were the people here today. My family, you see that little kid that is actually creating a lot of chaos? That's actually one of my future team program participants. My classmates, my professors, and my friends. These are the people who really helped me get to where I am today. These are the people who helped us get to where we are today. My background is in urban social policy for children and families, and community economic development. I am the Senior Program Director of Centro Latino, like you guys already know, and the former Youth Program Director of Inquilinos Boricuas en Acción, Puerto Rican Tenants in Action. I've always tried to make a difference in my community, but like many of my classmates, I recognized that I needed additional training. I wanted to better understand how to connect research, the nuances of policy evaluation, and how to best utilize statistical analysis and how it applies to low-income communities and communities of color. Drawn by its focus on urban social policy for children and families, I enrolled in the Master of Public Policy program here at UEP. I have learned so much. So, apparently, part of being a master's degree student is doing what? Endless amount of reading and endless amount of writing. One of my marathon research papers involved taking social policy theories out of the classroom into the community. President Barack Obama once said, as part of his plan to combat urban poverty, poverty is a disease that infects an entire community in the form of unemployment and violence. Failing schools and broken homes, we cannot just treat those symptoms in isolation. We have to heal that entire community, and we have to focus on what actually works. His words hit near and dear to my heart. I am the product of effective urban after-school arts programming and committed public school educators. I was born in Puerto Rico, but grew up in Hartford, Connecticut, a predominantly underserved community where young people like me had and still have limited access to educational opportunities. I spent my after-school time with my art teachers and with the staff of Huaquilla, a community-based organization that promotes arts and culture. Huaquilla is committed to helping teens find their inner voices by encouraging them to achieve academic excellence and motivating them to overcome obstacles in their lives. I remember Ms. Hayes, an Irish woman, my middle school art teacher and a mentor, asking me several times, what are your plans after you graduate from high school? It's a question that we have been answering throughout the ceremony. Truthfully, I had not given it much thought. I knew that I wanted to attend art school and possibly become an art teacher. I dreamed of a future that was different than the young boys hanging out on the block in my neighborhood. I took a big first step forward, creating a better future by applying to college. I had always had a fear of writing, and English was not my first language. With the support of my art teacher, I was accepted to the Museum School of Fine Arts, Boston, and as a first-generation college student. While I was an undergraduate student, Dr. Calderon-Rosado, my mentor and boss at the time, and a UP guest lecturer, asked me a similar question to the one my art teacher asked. What are your plans after college? I knew in my heart that I wanted to obtain a master's degree like my mentor and sister Ophelia had done, and I wanted to learn to become a more effective leader in my community. The idea of going back to school while working full-time seemed daunting, but I did it, we did it. Looking back at the experiences that we, class of 2012, have shared, I'm amazed. I will never forget some of the heated discussions we argued. Discuss? Just about everything: economic inequality, food accessibility, water quality, community stability, even who was right and who was wrong on the reality TV show Jersey Shore. How many of you actually have seen that show? Raise your hand. It's okay, we're your family, no shame, no shame. While we didn't always agree in a final decision, I learned that the real value was in discussion itself. We all had different life experiences, and those experiences shape each of our perspectives. This is the value of community. Different people with different perspectives coming together to have a dialogue. Building a community is a powerful thing that leads to positive social change. Everyone here knows communities work, because to get here today, we all being supported by our community. So now it's time for me to ask you, members of class of 2012, what are you doing after you graduate? I challenge you to take all that you have learned here and the community we have built and continue to grow our community outside. Never forget the people that matter the most and help us get where we are. Thank you to our mentors, advisors, and professors. Thank you, Dr. Calderon-Rosado, for being a mentor and a cultural broker as a first Latina to be appointed to the Massachusetts Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. Thank you to Dr. Francine Jacobs for being my academic advisor and providing me the fundamental skills for program and policy evaluation. Thank you, Dr. James Jennings, for encouraging me to look at information from every perspective and sharing your passion for urban social policies. Thank you to our family, members, and friends. Thank you to my mother for your unconditional love and teaching me that in my lowest I can rise as you have. Thank you to my sister for sharing your beautiful family and being an awesome teacher, and for sharing your passion for learning. Thank you to my little brother, he's actually right here in the blue shirt, for sending me texts from that phone that he's actually recording, just about every day asking me, what are you doing? You guys know what was my answer? You guys want to guess? I'm sorry? Actually, you're very close, very close. So my answer was, I am working on a paper for school. Thank you to Ed, my brother from my other mother. You guys heard that, this campaign process? You guys know where I got it from? You know, the Republican cane, 9999? Oh, got it. Okay, good. For encouraging me and being my running buddy at 5 a.m. each morning. Finally, thank you to my fellow MAs and MP peers. When I started, I said I felt like I was where? We're not listening? Just kidding. Who wants to be a millionaire? Remember, we're here to help each other, and the community we build at Tufts will continue once we walk outside of these doors. So phone a friend. Use those cell phones. Ask the audience. Don't be afraid to use your lifeline and ask for help. But most importantly, be a bold leader. I encourage you to continue to build upon the successes of the community we have begun. Everyone here has made a tremendous investment in us. In the past years, we have made a tremendous investment in ourselves. We have the tools we need, and we now know what works. It's time for us to build upon the lessons we have learned. President Barack Obama was right. We all must work together to heal our communities. Now, let's get started. Congratulations.